All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Natty News Daily Weekly. My what once was a weekly segment that I now record whenever the hell I have time to, which should return to its weekly schedule or at least more frequent schedule now that I am self-employed fully, but I don't want to digress too much. So I got a couple stories, two athlete profiles, a federation story, and then I want to kind of follow up and do an addendum to a story that Natty News, Leroy, Dan, and myself covered this week, and I actually just recorded a podcast on. So you're going to be hearing a lot about it, and I wanted to kind of just get a point across here, just as a general consensus statement. But yeah, first. Justice and Ryan here, both Leroy's clients, so I can vouch for their natty status through him. I love this post. It's similar to a post that I just did recently looking at my comparison of prior prep, I think my 2019 to my current. It's just such a testament to what can be done naturally given enough time and consistency, right? Time is the biggest, most important factor for a natural if that time is used well, obviously, right? I think the saying is, do you have 5 years of experience or do you have 1 year of experience repeated 5 times? Obviously, these guys working with a coach like Leroy, their training has evolved, their nutrition has evolved. They are gaining more experience in the gym and learning, and not just repeating the same thing for however many years it's been since this comparison. But I just love this. Both great athletes, both are competing this year, look in phenomenal shape, but you can just see the transformation that they've had over just a little bit of time is remarkable, right? And that can be yourself as well. Don't look at 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Look at what can happen in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, a decade of hard training, consistent training, and learning, and evolving as an athlete. So I love that. Congratulations, you guys. I might be competing against them this year. We'll see if the shows line up. And then we got to highlight Leo. So Leo won his WNBF pro card at the Herc and then won his pro qualification for the WNBF Worlds at the Muscle Mania, Muscle Mayhem, whatever the California show is. Now, I will say, unfortunately, he wasn't able to test himself because he was the only pro there that day for open bodybuilding, men's open bodybuilding. But I think we can all agree that he would do very well, if not win most pro qualifying shows. The guy is an absolute genetic freak. You got to look at, I mean, this is just a training video. So, but look at the arm definition, and he's not even hitting his arms, right? Quads are feathered. He was already in great condition at the Hercules, and he's only going to get better as the season goes along, right? So, if we even just pull up some of his photos here, he just looks crazy. And like I said, only getting better as time goes. So, I think, yeah, this was from the Muscle Mayhem. You can see dense, still full, not like depleted looking whatsoever. Just a lot of muscle on his frame. Coached by one of the best, the Godfather himself. As you can see, he's training in the Godfather garage there. So I'm looking forward to seeing Leo at Worlds, see what he does there. Time will tell. And then, like I said, some Federation news. So this is OCB with the Yorton Cup, their premier show. Love to see this, taking care of the athletes and being kind of resourceful, right? We all know as athletes ourselves, as coaches or supporters, if you're someone who's in prep traveling to coach an athlete, to be there to support an athlete, and you have shows of your own coming up or dietary adherence issues of your own, hotel food not the greatest, traveling not the easiest. So you're either packing all your food or you're kind of scrambling when you get there, or you're eating more processed foods because they're easier to travel with. I love the fact that the OCB has kind of looked out for their athletes, coaches, fans, supporters, and they're creating this custom athlete food menu in the cafeteria, if you will, for the hotel, right? So they've got grilled chicken plate, like a vegan vegetarian burger here, Greek yogurt. So it's not like a huge variety, but it does give a lot of different options for people, and they say down here as well for the breakfast, egg white omelets, oatmeal, other staples, right? So they're thinking ahead. They're doing the little things, and it's the little things that matter. So my hat, if I was wearing it, would be off to the OCB. And then our last story, this was kind of the addendum. So this was the post that kind of blew up. You can see 923, 24 likes. It's like 150 comments, lots of people with lots of opinions about a show in Canada that had supposedly a high volume of questionable athletes, is the way that I'll word it, across multiple divisions, male and female. high enough to the point where I started raising eyebrows about, what's going on. Is the testing actually legit? What is natural? Are they natural on the day? Are they natural for life? And you can see some of the comments here, right? Yeah, Ben Johnson, Lance Armstrong, and John Jones would be proud. And it's actually this individual right here that we just recorded with. So this will be a good podcast for you guys to listen to. Hopefully this comes out and you guys can get a little taster of what's to come. But yeah, remind me why we pay for drug testing and natural shows. My $50 drug fee is going where? There's a consensus among the people, enough so that maybe this was a questionable show. But if this one show can be a lesson for a lot of the other federations, I think we can learn something from it. So this show was with the CPA. The CPA is part of the NPC. We're an affiliate with the NPC. We're seeing a large preponderance of athletes push into the CPA and the NPC for the incentive of the new IFBB Pro card through the natural route. You earn the NPC Pro card natural, you qualify, and then you go to Ben Wieters, you win Ben Wieters, you qualify for the Open Olympia. It's a huge title, it's huge recognition. Obviously, only a handful of people actually earn it, but even the right or the privilege of earning an IFBB Pro card is now somewhat easier for a natural athlete and is just a huge title to hold. We all recognize it, we all know it. Whether or not you'd be competitive as an IFBB Pro is a whole different argument, but to even hold that title is massive. So I get it. It's a huge incentive for people to try and chase that. The downside is it's also a huge incentive for people to try and cheat the system in a seemingly easier route to that pro card, right? So we've seen the incentive of the IFBB pro card potentially increase the preponderance of cheating the system. Our whole platform as Natty News Daily has been to create incentives for natural athletes to compete as naturals, trying to get more money, trying to get more sponsors into the shows, right? Like we would love as a group to see large prize money at these large shows. We would love to see like a Super Bowl of natural bodybuilding where all the champions compete for large cash sums. And we would love to see more natural athletes get sponsored, like legitimate sponsorships, not just affiliate brand ambassador type stuff, like actual contracts within the sport to compete as a natural athlete. That can only happen when there's more eyes on the sport, but it's a double-edged sword. As soon as you start adding in those incentives, the same thing's going to happen, right? So the warning, the lesson, the message should be we need to make sure that the testing is in place, the testing is solid, and hopefully a little bit more holistic before all that falls into place. Otherwise, we're going to see the exact same thing happen across all the other federations. So if you guys like the segment, if you agree, disagree, comment, have your thoughts, please let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.